Hey folks, welcome to JM Unleashed. As you probably know, my channel focuses on the subjects of dogs, nature, uh, music and entertainment, finance and precious metals. And so I'm just bringing this to you today because I noticed something really strange in the silver market. So I'm going to be with you in just a moment. This is the chart I just noticed. I don't know if you call it an anomaly, but there's something strange going on. So just give me a minute. Hey, Neil. Neil, I don't know. Like maybe it'll turn into platinum. Um, hey, Shangy girl. Good to see you. Okay, so sorry about the echo there for a second. What I'm going to do, hey, Ronnie, good to see you. What we're looking at here, I'm going to put it full screen for you, is the current overseas trading in the silver market. And you can see off to the left here, uh, what its typical range volatility is, at least over the last, what would that be, the last hour or two. And then suddenly we had this massive drop, which I'll kind of zoom in on a little bit for you. And so really all I'm doing right now is I'm the type of guy, usually I don't spend a whole lot of time on charts, but when I do see something wonky, I watch it. And so where I'd normally be, watching other people's videos or going on a live stream and just kind of watching this in a separate tab. When I looked, it didn't look like too many other people were live. And I thought, you know what, this is a good time just to document, because frequently I've seen this sort of thing where you have this anomaly here, and then the next day it disappears off of the charts. So I'm just going to share this with you. You should be able to see, it was trading in this pattern between 2287 and 2290. And then all in a matter of 1 minute, it dropped down to like 2060. And to me, that sometimes can foreshadow a massive move one way or the other. Or it could just mean that demand dried up for a moment or so. But I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this for maybe the next 20, 30 minutes. And I'm just going to share it with you for a bit. But you can see this is going back to July 1st. This is July 1st here. And you can see the typical range on 30-minute trades. And then suddenly we have this big drop, of which it recovered almost immediately. But there's only been 3 or 4 times that I've seen in the last year or so where it had a massive move like that in such a short period of time. So, yeah, I like Ronnie. I wouldn't look at that as being a good time to buy. Um, like most of us, I think we're looking at buying the physical metal, and usually when the trades happen that quickly, um, you can't get out to your local coin shop or put an order in and lock that price in, because it's just a matter of minutes. But yeah, if you're on a trading platform, absolutely. And so I wonder if maybe there's a little bit of shenanigans going on there, where people had their bids set at these lower prices, and then someone came in, maybe in a pension account, or some other pooled assets that where they actually don't care about losing money, and they tanked it out so that they, on their personal side, could buy in low and make a quick profit. So it looks like somebody made some really quick money and someone lost some really quick money on that. And so I'm not here to try to predict what's going to happen. I'm just here watching it. So these vertical green and red bars currently each represent 30 minutes of trading. And I'm going to move it back to 1 minute just so you can see again what we've got there. These red and green lines down at the bottom represent volume. And so this red one here is showing 22 contracts. And you can see the volume number over here when I've sort of moused over that. So that's all I'm doing, is just monitoring this, and I wanted to share it, and then that way it's also documented. Yeah, Ronnie knows. Always shenanigans going on. So what I'm curious to see here is whether we're going to have another big drawdown like that, or whether it's actually going to spike. And it's not because I think that I will or that I can make money on it, because I'm not on any trading platform. It's just I've got skin in the game, and so I'm curious. And like Ronnie said, there's always shenanigans going on. So it's cool. I think it's cool to catch it when it happens, and document it, because sometimes it'll get erased. And Neil is another guy, Ronnie. I'm sure you've met him in the chats here before, but Neil's another guy that really keeps up with the markets and geopolitics. Hey, Steve, my friend, Harloa, I hope your day's going better. I know you had a rough couple days there. Always appreciate you. The sun will come out tomorrow. Everything will be fine. There you go. Yeah, Steve Harloa is a great guy, and he hosts some fantastic shows. The Where It Begins series is I've been really impressed with some of the guests that he's got on there. Fantastic talent. So very cool. I appreciate everyone that's in here. We're just watching. This is the silver market being traded in the overseas market. And so I'm just going to move back here so we can see, it was just trading as a normal sort of organic trade. And then suddenly we had 1 minute where it tanked out about 2%. And then it recovered that 2% and dropped back down. That's what this thin red line here is showing, that it tanked all the way down here and came back all the way back up in 1 minute. And then this red bar in the middle just tanked out and didn't recover until the next minute when it went green. And then it came back. And now it's back to a regular trading pattern again. This is the type of thing that, mainstream news doesn't really report on. I think most of the guys don't even catch it in the news. But any active trader is in my opinion, is definitely going to have their eyebrows raised, because anyone that was buying in this area off to the left and had stop loss options in on their trades would have lost big money on this. Let's say they said, okay, I want to buy at 22.88 and we'll put a stop loss at 22.70, which would mean that they get sold out at 22.70. And they're hoping to just ride it up, but they don't want it to tank out their account. Anyone that did that definitely got hurt on this occurring. And this is what some people will refer to as a flash crash, or squeezing out the longs. And we've seen the likes of JP Morgan do this frequently to squeeze out those that are trying to make money on the upside. Okay, let's get back here now. Hey, Steve-O, good to see you. And Mr. E. Oanda, is that the country Black Panther comes from? Haha. Oanda is just one of the metrics that they've got. I don't think I can actually define it. Yeah, hey, Jamie. But yeah, again, like if you're buying from a major bullion company or a local coin shop, they are not going to honor that low price at the bottom. They're going to say, whoa, that's a flash crash, and you won't get that price. The only people that are profiting on that, in my opinion, is the big institutions that did a big dump on it. That's my opinion. So Oanda, I might look up what Oanda is defined as. But here, I don't want to get too distracted, but what I'll show you is we can compare. So AG is the periodic element for silver. And so if we add in, let's say we want to add in gold, and we'll see if gold did the same thing. So I'll put in XAU because AU is gold. And all it is when it comes up, like XAU is a gold and silver index, gold money index. But if we go down, you see over here, Oanda, which is a commodity CFD. And it's just the default that this charting platform gives us. So when I compare, I use the same one. So I'll use Oanda for this as well. I should look it up, but I want to take a look. So that's interesting. Silver continues to be the red and green lines in here, and the gold price is the goldish orange color. And it looks like it did not do that. So now, before I can be 100% certain, I would need to confirm by switching this just to gold. Because if we do it on a mountain chart, no, it should show if gold did that. And so it looks to me like it's just isolated. It's just silver that did that. So let's take a look at a little bit of a longer view on it, just so you can get a better feel as to that drop, which we can see right here. And this orange line continues to be gold. But that's definitely a big drop. You don't see too many drops like that, and then it just recovering that quick. On the 1 minute anyway, right? Here's 1 minute. We can go back quite a ways. And you just don't see that. Very unusual. Like I said earlier, there's only maybe a couple times a year that I actually see it. Sometimes it's been a bigger move than that. Zoom this back in because I just want to see if this happens again. So when we look on a 15-minute, so there are big moves like that over the course of 15 or 20 minutes, like we can see over here. But usually it's directional. It's moving in a direction. Whereas what I'm seeing here is this just happened over a very short period of time, and it's as if it never happened. Now, obviously, there's a chance that it could be a glitch. Yes, Neil, exactly. Very similar to the nickel trade that got shut down. Except in the case of the nickel, it spiked up. And what happened is they kept I think they call it circuit breakers. They kept shutting down trades as it was going up, but then they let it fall as much as the traders would push it. They let it fall, but as soon as it started going back up again, they shut the trading off. And I do see, similar patterns in the silver market too, which is one of the many reasons that my theory is that the silver market is massively suppressed. Although I realize lots of people don't feel that way. And some people would actually call me a silver pumper or a shill for having that. But I don't see how you can be a shill for having an opinion. I'm not telling people to go out and buy silver because I think they're going to triple or quadruple their money. I strongly believe it's one of the metals that we can have for diversification and for hedging against inflation, but even more, it's a hedge against fiat currency. So I'm just going to keep watching this, and I'll keep flipping back and forth. And Jamie's right. I'm a bit of a silver abuser. I've got a couple videos of me taking a hammer to silver. Let's see here. Must have accidentally timed it perfectly. Nice. Got 20 ounces last week when it dropped, locked in price, bang on the button. Sweet. Mystery, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Ronnie. Currently, my favorite precious metals channel, as you guys probably know, is Salivate Metal. If anyone has the link there for Salivate Metal, feel free to put it in the chat. But he actually had a video today talking about how we're likely to see another silver squeeze. But it's not going to be so much from stackers and individuals buying it. It's because industrial demand is outstripping mining supply. And in fact, last time I looked at it, I noticed, oh, look at that, it disappeared. Let me take a look. Okay, no, it didn't disappear. It's just green. There's a chance that it will disappear. One. Okay, so no, it's still there. And just so anyone new coming in doesn't get confused, I'm going to stop comparing it to gold right now. My main reason for putting that in there was just to see if that happened. But back to the point I wanted to make is I did check out the Silver Institute, and they're showing that there's been industrial deficit, or let's just say silver supply deficit for 3 years in a row now, meaning more demand for silver, physical silver, than what's being mined out of the planet, and that's global, on a global basis. And I hate to chew up my StreamYard hours for this, because it's more just to document it, and if we see something funky, like if it disappears, that'll be really interesting and could indicate it was just a glitch, but we'll see. We can chat. I was thinking of not even turning my microphone on and just interacting with you guys in the chat side here, but I may as well have that on there. You can see I'm here though. Well, Ronnie, it's still going down. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll take a longer term look at it. Just hold on a second. In fact, I put a post on my community tab showing a much longer term view on it. I know some people don't like looking at charts for very long, but now all these vertical green and red bars represent 1 hour of trading. But I'm going to go out much longer here. Let's go 1 year. Okay. So this shows the history of silver going back to the year 1921, when silver was under $1 an ounce. And we can see how, as long as our currencies had silver in it and our coinage was based, meaning the constitutional dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars all were 90% silver, how stable that price was. And as soon as they removed that, look, we're at 1966, 1967 here. It went, to maybe $1 up to $48. So these red and green vertical bars now represent 1 year of trading. $48 slammed back down to $4. Then went back up to just about 50. Came down to about 13. Up to 30 and down to 12, all within that very special year, 2020. See that volatility in there? And now we're at 22.91. But on my community tab, what I did is I just showed the graph, and just because of the parameters of it, I think it only showed something like that. It didn't show the whole history and this big spike we had during high inflation in the late 70s. But the question just simply was, do you think we're going to see, silver really moving up, or do you think we're going to see it dropping, or just kind of flatlining? So there's the longer term, Ronnie. Yeah, I kind of feel usually taking the best fit line is pretty good, but I think all these peaks were very short lived, and that's due to it being suppressed. The greatest bars here for volume are selling pressure, so I think there's a lot of derivatives pressure pushing the markets down. Yeah, I wouldn't want to sell mine either, Jamie. Platinum is about. Yeah, and Neil is a big advocate for platinum. The biggest reason that I'm not buying more platinum than I am, and I am buying little bits here and there, is just because in an SHTF situation, I don't think that it's going to be as recognizable and as liquid as silver or gold. But mystery, you're right here too. Yeah, if you can look at your silver as just preserving your wealth for your next generation. In the Bible, it says something about not necessarily a virtuous man, but a man's objective should be to provide an inheritance for their grandchildren. And I think that's a good way to look at silver. It can be like an emergency fund, but even more to the point, for passing, it's a perfect way to transfer wealth to the next generation, because it's not part of your estate unless you list it in there. It's not like a 401k or an IRA or a bank account or a stock account where there's going to be estate tax. Stagflation. I think there's different definitions of stagflation. Mine is definition is when you've got inflationary period, which they define as prices going up while you're in a recession. And I think that you're right. I think that we are in a recession and prices are going up. So under the economics definition of stagflation, I think that we are. And I want to switch this back to the shorter term again, because if something glitches on it, I want to make sure we catch it. Okay, so we'll catch that there. We'll put this on 3 minute. And the thing that gets me on this flash crash here, it's not actually a huge crash, but it's a drop of 2% in 3 minutes. And usually a 2% move is what you'd expect in a day, not in 3 minutes. Typically. There's a 5 minute. And so there it's actually showing that on 5 minutes, it dropped that 2%, recovered the whole thing, and went back up a bit again. But just for optics, I'm going to leave it on the 1 minute here for a little bit longer, so people can see this just happened. This is we're at 2015, which is 8, 6. So this happened at about 6:30 Eastern time right here. Right, Neil? You know what? Yeah, Ronnie, you know me. I'm always happy to come up on a panel and hang out with you and discuss. Absolutely. Be more than happy to do that. And I got to turn my air conditioner on here. I can see my computer's overheating a bit. You may hear a little more background sound. Hey, Jeffrey Jackson. Happy 4th of July to you and all of my good American friends and neighbors. As most of you know, I was born in Canada, but I identify as North American. And, you know, I can't change where I was born. But we know these days we can identify as anything we want, right? Anyway, Jeff, yep, the sentiments, I definitely appreciate that. And I hope you're having a great week. And I hope that your celebrations are fun and safe. We just had Canada Day here July 1st, and the amount of fireworks that were going off was incredible, especially considering how polluted the air was to begin with. Now, Ronnie, in fact, if you wanted to come up on the panel, I'll drop the link for you. I don't see anyone else in the chat here that typically comes up on the panel. Yep. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, Mr. E, I'm not sure what you mean by buy more tissues. It was probably on something I was talking about earlier. But I don't get worked up when prices drop. In fact, as a good friend of mine would say, I start to salivate when the prices drop. Hey, Andy, good to see you. Oh, Mr. E, you're in Scotland. That's right. Okay. Yeah, have a good sleep. That's late for you there. Yeah, you guys are welcome to drop links. Rotten Ronnie. That's what we used to call Ronald McDonald. We call him Rotten Ronnie. But I hear you, Ronnie. You got to take care of your health. We got some great people in here. Very cool. I wasn't even expecting to see a whole lot of people, but um, as I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to sort of document this because I noticed this, I want to call it an anomaly in the silver price. It was just like a flash crash of 2% in a matter of 1 minute. And because this chart doesn't go any shorter time span, 1 minute, I can't tell. Maybe it happened in 5 seconds and maybe it was 50 seconds. But when we zoom out, we can definitely see this here is not, um, doesn't fit in with the rest of the trades leading up to it the previous several hours or the last hour or so since that happened. So there's a glitch that happened, or it was a flash crash. It could have been manipulation. I suspect that it was manipulation, and a few of the big cats made some good money on it, and some of the smaller traders probably burned. Because we all know, right, on every single trade where there's a winner, there's also a loser. That's just how it happens. And of course, the big institutional players, where they have the platforms where people trade, they win whether it goes up or down. And that's why it's a good business. That's why being in the financial services industry can be extraordinarily lucrative, because you can make money no matter what it does. You make money on every trade, right? Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah. And I'm sending prayers out for you and your health. I know there's several people in the community that haven't been feeling well. And I know Steve Harloa had a rough couple. That was so strange. For anyone that doesn't know, our friend Steve Harloa, one of his tires blew out on his van, and he's in Hawaii. And it turns out that whoever installed the tires on his van installed winter tires on his van in Hawaii, where it never snows, which is ridiculous because usually the winter tires are made out of a softer compound, and so they'll wear 50 to 70% faster if you're driving it around on hot pavement. Um, and that's one of the things where I live near Toronto. It's kind of a pain, but it makes sense to do it. We switch. Um, I switch the snow tires on as soon as the weather starts approaching freezing, and then I move back to the all seasons. Um, once the weather looks like it's not going to drop below freezing anymore. Yeah. You got a good point there about the weather. And he's mentioned that before. He said, when it gets into the 70s, he's cold. He's not used to it. But um, right now, once we get into the 80s, I like having a little bit of air conditioning going on. I'm comfortable up to about 85. But right around between 60 and 75 degrees is ideal for me. Okay, so I'm starting to think, just because of the time duration that's gone by, that that was not a glitch, because I think they would have erased it if it was, and that it's more likely that it was a flash crash induced by a large trading platform, and they probably made some good money on it at the detriment of smaller traders. That's just my guess. anyone that isn't familiar with Ronnie York, everyone in here's got a wrench. I encourage you to click on his name, go to his channel, and subscribe. He's similar to you, Neil, in that he keeps up with the geopolitics, but he goes further down the rabbit hole whereby if he doesn't delete the live stream at the end, then YouTube deletes his channel. And I know, Neil, you ran into problems a couple times there and you're being more careful so you don't lose your channel. Ronnie's kind of and he's in Texas, the great state of Texas. And he's kind of what would you call it, a crash test pilot. He's just out there putting in all of his effort to get the information out. And he spends thanks, Indy, an incredible amount of time researching this with his good friend Big Chap, and they share the information, get it out, let people make their own decision, and then after the live stream he deletes it. So that's why if you go to his channel, it doesn't look like there's much content on there, and that's because it's just when he's live you catch it, and then when the live stream is done he deletes it, and that's it. Yep. I bet you, Neil, if you sat down with Ronnie, the two of you would absolutely get along great. And I know both of you are veterans, so I'm trying to be careful on my channel too. I don't want to lose my channel, but at the same time, I don't want to give in to the powers that be and not expose the evil that's going on out there. Thanks, Indy, for posting those. That's great. Big Chap's awesome too. It's taken down 30 minutes after you posted. Yeah. Well, and I think that's what was happening with Ronnie too. And in fact, even halfway through his Ronnie's live streams, YouTube's shut it down a couple times. I think most of the time it comes back on, but okay. I'm going to switch this back to a 5-minute period. You can see this flash crash that happened there. Dropped from 22.90 down to about 22.62. So that's 30 cents on 20 bucks. I actually thought it was more than that. 60, 70, 80, 90. There's a good close to 2%. Okay, so now we're getting some selling volume coming in here. I'll keep this going if you guys want, but I think I've documented it enough that it'll be saved, and then I'll be curious tomorrow to see if it gets erased or not. Hey, 79. I can have it both ways, though, can't I? That's right, Neil. But like, can you imagine if YouTube just deleted your channel and then all those cat videos are gone? Yeah, I like your spirit and your attitude, 79. But at the same time, like, I'm looking at my channel as a bit of a library, documenting a lot of the dog walking adventures, and other subjects too. And I do have more than half of it backed up on an external backup drive. So if YouTube deleted my whole channel, I'll still have about half of the content backed up. But what a pain that would be to get it all posted again, because I got over 500 videos now already. That's a good idea, Neil. And I'm thinking of doing that too, but I'm just I haven't made a decision yet whether I want to start a second YouTube channel where it will be called JM Sings for 79 because I know how much she loves when I sing karaoke. Just kidding. I'm not sure whether I should do a second YouTube channel or just do a Rumble channel. I don't have the time and energy to keep up with the geopolitics the way Neil, Ronnie, and Big Chap do. But I would like to have a platform where I can just say exactly what's on my mind without having to worry about them deleting my channel. But right now, it's getting a little too unfocused there with the variety of subjects that I have. It's still okay, but you know, yeah. And I remember when Neil's Han Dynasty was originally it was just called Neil Han, I think. It's Neil Han, and then Neil Han Dynasty, and then Neil's Han Dynasty, if memory serves correct. But I've definitely seen him around the YouTube streets for quite a while. Maybe for 79, what I'll do here is I'll actually compare it to gold because I know she likes gold, doesn't really like silver. So that is XAU. We showed it earlier, 79. I don't think you were in here at the time, but this glitch happened in silver, but not in gold. And then for Neil, I might even try comparing it to platinum as well. Thank everybody for coming in. So now we're definitely showing here that this flash crash did not happen in gold price. And in fact, on this chart, it's not showing it on the mountain chart, only on the candles chart where this happened in the silver. Let's see. Platinum should be under PT. It's not finding it. Let's see if we can put platinum in here too. Platinum group metals. That's a stock. I guess there's a chance that platinum's not traded the same way overseas. So let me try putting in platinum. See if it brings up platinum Oanda, then we're good. There it is. We can compare it. Beautiful. There you go, folks. I learned something new today. And now the blue line is platinum up top. So we've got platinum up top. Silver is the red and green lines, and gold is the yellowish orange line. How old is silver? I think silver has been here since life on Earth. Because many people don't realize silver is actually a transition metal. It's in our blood in very small quantities. let's compare silver, gold, and platinum all together here on the longer term. Just for fun. Interesting how they all seem to revert back. I would say platinum is definitely the most volatile in price, has the greatest upside and downside. Then silver, and then of course gold is going to be the most stable. Let's go much longer term. Okay, so Neil, this chart is definitely showing what you're talking about, which is how undervalued platinum is. Going back to 2007, platinum has a total return of negative 28%, even though it's 10 times as rare as gold. And as we know, is used in many industrial applications as a catalyst. Over the same time period, silver's up 71%, gold's up 195%. And I'm quite impressed and happy this is showing these longer terms. Let's see if it'll go way back. It is. But something doesn't make sense here. Because here we go. Okay, so it's only starting to show platinum since 1996. And of course, because it's comparing them, it's only showing it in percentage return. It's not showing actual price. But it's not showing that big spike that platinum had. We'll shorten that. Okay, here it is. There we go. So it's showing that spike now. Again, the blue line is charting the price of platinum versus the yellow line, which is gold, and then the green and red, which is silver. There we go. And the platinum is actually, the charting is only starting here, but they were all relatively close at that time anyway. Sorry, Neil, 30 times as rare? Okay. Sorry, guys, I didn't keep up with the chat as much as I would have liked to, because when I'm tinkering around with the charts there, I'm actually doing it on a separate tab. Here we go, Neil. I will highlight this comment for you. And you're right. Like, there's so many products out there in the auto industry, fuel, credit cards, where they acknowledge and put it right in our face that platinum is considered greater than gold. Just going to highlight some of these comments in case for some reason it disappears. Yeah, and platinum is absolutely shows up on coins. I know 79 wants me to highlight her comment here, so I will. This is the next comment that I highlight is what 79 enjoys around a campfire with her s'mores. At least rumor has it. I wouldn't have believed it, but it's right there. Oh yeah, what do they call them? There's those small sausages that some people freak out for. I forget what they're called. So if you guys want me to switch up the charts or bring up something else on the screen, just let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm probably going to shut. Yep, 79. You got it, the Vienna. I think they call it Vienna sausage. And Vienna, that's Italy. So there you go, Little Italy, Vienna, coming out with the small sausage. Oh, poor Sal. So many people pick on the guy. But I don't know if you guys noticed or not. He's putting in the effort, and his channel is still growing. He's at 70,000 subscribers as of last night, which is pretty good. Like, you got to figure his channel focuses on precious metals almost exclusively, and it's not that great a market. Like, not that many people stack precious metals in the United States. It's probably what, only 2 or 3% of Americans actually stack metal. So, the audience isn't that great compared to, say, if he was focusing on music or, like some of the things I'm focusing on, dogs. 1 in 3 people have a dog. Hey, Cranky, great to see you. Thanks very much for stopping by. Cranky Stacker's got a great channel too. His channel's a little bit younger, just getting going, but definitely got some good stuff happening there. Um, okay, so now I'm going to go back here and see. Go back to the short term. Some people prefer these mountain charts over the candles, so I'll just put this up for a short period of time. For anyone new just showing up here, the sort of aquamarine light blue is the platinum price being charted compared to the darker blue, which is silver. Look at this, 7-9. Silver and platinum are both outperforming gold. But that's just over the last 5-6 hours. 15-minute increments is the typical default. But that's okay. Gold is still, it's the most recognized in the world as a store of wealth. And so you can definitely see how stable it is on the downside relative to the other two. And so it's expected that it's not going to run up as fast either when the other metals are going up. If you want to speculate and go for big gains, these higher volatility metals are the ones to look at. But you're also taking on a lot more risk with them for things like flash crash and whatnot. So and on the 15 minutes, it's not showing that flash crash. So I want to kind of keep that up on the screen where it is showing it. It's not there either. Here it is, though. So there you go, Neil. Platinum over this time frame is positive, while silver and gold are both just slightly down. That's really cool that we can watch all three in real time. That's on 5-minute increments. Here's 1 minute. And actually, if we zoom in a bit, get rid of that. It's kind of fun to watch, but I don't want to chew up too many hours or too much time just staring at charts. Totally. Yep. If you guys happen to see someone else come in the chat, just asking what we're looking at, feel free to just type it in there. I may not catch their comments right away because I'm kind of switching between the tabs here. Okay, so I've been going for 56 and a half minutes. I'm going to shut her down at the 1 hour mark. Oh, look at this. We got Platinum is on the move here, buddy. Neil, look. Look. It is having a run. A run for the money. I was actually thinking of doing a live stream like this where I just fire up the chart and let it run and keep the chat open so people can just watch and chat, and I wouldn't even need to be there. But the problem is, in order for me to do that on StreamYard, I'd have to have a paid plan or I'd run out of time. I could probably do it once because I think it's 20 hours a month or something like that. Anyway, I'm glad you came in here, Neil. You get to see this in real time. We got Platinum on the move. Yep, fair enough. Fair enough, Cranky. Like, to me, what it's about ultimately is they're wanting to make money. That's all they care about is making money, pretty much at any cost. And so manipulation happens all the time. But yeah, to call it controlled market pressure, it is a better term. The thing is, though, a lot of the smaller traders get wiped out when they're doing that manipulation. So, like, let's say a large institution like JP Morgan, let's say that they make, just for easy numbers, say they make $1 million in 2 minutes of trading by manipulating the markets. That means $1 million was lost by other traders over the same period of time. Those other traders don't have the same cash resources, and it probably hurts them more than it benefits JP Morgan, for example. So it's typically the little guy that's going to get hurt. Or as 79 would say, it'll be the little weenie that burns. The little weenie doesn't get the prize. That might be a better way of saying it. But it looks like we got a little bit of upward momentum coming back in here now. Let's see. This is now not showing that flash crash, and I want to have it showing. There we go. That shows it there. But it doesn't show it, right? It happened right in here, I think. On the mountain graph, you have to have it on the candles to see it. And so that's another reason, people that prefer not to watch the markets or do any technical analysis or charting, if they're not looking at the candles, they don't see that information a lot of the time. Although it did show it earlier. Yeah. Okay, guys. So here's a good video about why I say. Okay, guys. Yep, 79. You're right. I'm actually at an hour and a minute. Sorry about that, 79. I know, but if you know me, like I frequently go into overtime. So yeah, feel free to post your links and whatnot. I'll keep the chat going for another. Let's see. I'll keep the chat going for another 5 minutes, and you guys can do whatever you want in the chat there. And I'll see you soon. Take good care and happy July 4th to all my great, wonderful American friends and neighbors. We'll see you soon.
It's the winner.
And you all know I'm still here. For anyone that's still here, thanks for stopping by. As promised, though, to Terry 79, my time's up, so I'll keep the chat going a little bit longer. I hear people say that silver is crashing.